Hello everyone, let's begin. Harmonization with this session 100% going both ways. Wonderful. So let's take a moment, take a deeper look into the pattern of energy that's presenting itself to us today. So it's almost like wings, maybe a rib cage, but it's coming out the back of my body and it's wrapping around here. I'm feeling the top of it wrapping around my forehead here, right? But there's also more to it. It's all around this area, and it's even inclusive of my rib cage in the front down here. Here to here. The bottom hand is about at the level of the bottom of my breastbone. As I look through this lens, in my mind's eye things start to have a hue of purple to them. And a humming sensation, almost like a sigh. My body is turning on its own towards this side, so I let it. Awesome, relevant information here. Yeah. Turning towards the right side. Time, looking towards the future. Something that I am perceiving coming up ahead. I'm trapped in a cage. I'm trapped in a rib cage specifically, but I'm trapped in a cage. This color purple acts as a balm, soothing the situation. I'm allowed to see everything that's here. Everything that shows up is allowed. Tilting line, psycho-emotional energetics. I would look into the seminars In Deep and MED with Dr. Richard Bartlett if you're interested in this. So there's the line, and it shows up here. Textural sensation here at the corner of my eye. Multiple things could show up here from my informational banks, right? Things that I know of inside of my mind, so I'll ask questions about them. Is this something that I know? Good. Let's go with gallbladder. No, let's go with spleen. Okay, so this is right over top the frontozygomatic suture having to do with the spleen. So there's also a tilting line right here. Let's work with emotions to do with the spleen. If I name it, let's say worry. So worry, that makes sense with things going into the future, and as we name it, the textural sensation changes. There's an increased sensation at the top of my skull here. So that would be another sutural line. Is that relevant? So sagittal suture, representative of multiple different organs. So we'll scan through a few different things here. My attention goes towards my stomach in this case, so stomach being relevant. Spleen interacting with stomach, that's interesting. So something about immunity in this case. Spleen is one big immune organ. Also helps with blood cell formation and recycling. So spleen to the stomach. Stomach associated with another tilting line. Now it's moving in this direction, almost like it's cutting off the top corner of my head here. Stomach, so stomach emotions having to do with, let's see, nervousness. Slightly different from worry, right? Worry and nervousness tend to overlap, so that makes sense. So our spleen and our stomach is having some negative emotional interaction here. Swap is ringing in through the right ear. Is that relevant? Okay, right ear, right-sided things having to do with masculine energy, so having to do with giving things, having to do with initiating projects, having to do with movement. Pay attention to movement. Both of those lines came together into a sphere. That sphere is here. I go into that sphere and it is a spiral-like motion going towards the left side, right? Counterclockwise motion, but it's spiraling towards the center, moving into a depth of something. As I peer more closely into this, there's a hole in the center, and it's almost like it sucks me in. But in my mind's eye, I'm standing somewhere. It's green. The whole environment is green. A yellow-green, almost swampy. And there's a hand reaching up from the swamp, the liquid muck at my feet. But it's safe. It feels safe. So that's fine. So I just hold on to that hand. I just grab onto that hand. And I naturally did that with my right hand. So again, masculine energy here. As I'm holding on, it's interesting. It's almost like this hand is seeping and funneling into my body. So a little bit of soul retrieval happening here. And I'm hearing banjos. All of a sudden I'm seeing a picture of a nice blue sky with white clouds. But it stopped. It was moving, the clouds were moving, and then all of a sudden still frame. There's something inside of one of the clouds. It's like a little ball of ice, but it's almost like an apple hanging from a tree, but a little icicle apple hanging down from one of these clouds. And I'm in the apple, zooming into the apple. All of these zooming ins are happening again in a counterclockwise direction. To a seed inside of the apple, a glass seed inside of my fingertips. And I'm back in the swamp. And at the bottom of the water of the swamp, there's a see-through layer like glass or ice, and on the other side of it is me, pressing my palms up against it. I don't know what to do. That's okay. What do I notice? It's like there's a door that he's pressed up against, rather than a whole layer of glass. He's pressed up against a door specifically. But I don't want to open it. I just want to slip this seed, this glass seed, underneath the crack in the door. And he holds on to it, and he smiles, and it's very calm, and he lets go. And it's like he's floating in water underneath this layer of glass. And he's erupting into these tree branches, breaking the glass, moving up through the swamp, going up through the sky. Green is shifting into this light blue sky. And the sun is shining down. And there again is that purple, pervading everything. And it all comes together into one point. And that point is resonating with a buzzing sensation in the center of my head. Pineal gland. Overlay. Good. Okay. I believe that's complete. Are these emotions still present within our energy? Is this overall pattern still present within our energy? Have all of the respective aspects of our energy, of our potential souls that have been fragmented at earlier periods of time, have those been recovered at this moment? Wonderful. Is there anything more that we need to know? Perfect. That's all that I have for you today. Please be so well. Bye.